I have heard many foreigners try to greet us in Botswana. They would say Dumela Ra, they would say Dumela Ma. This is the language that comes from Botswana, a country called Botswana located in the southern part of Africa, bordered by South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and just a little bit of it, Zambia. This country gained its independence in 1966, and by that time, people were earning as little as $85 as far as income per capita is concerned. But today, if we look at the history, Botswana has got an amazing story to tell, and investors should open their eyes. Botswana has got a great mineral wealth, Botswana has got good macroeconomic governance, and Botswana is stable as far as politics is concerned because many writers have stated that all the elections that were held in that country were free and fair. Prudent economic management are driving Botswana to become an upper income country, I think by the year 2036. Well, Botswana is diamond-led planned, which means that most of the income that Botswana depends on is on the diamond. Well, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? At a certain point, it can be really vulnerable to some volatility and changes in the market of the diamond. We can look at what happened in 2019 when the market was a little bit volatile. It shook Botswana just a little bit. Well, these problems were compounded by the drought that occurred in the previous year. Not only that, 2020 was a year that did not spare any country in the world because of COVID-19. Putting these problems into figures, you could see that the growth of Botswana was actually 4.5 in 2018, but dropped down to 3 in 2019. 2020, everybody knows the story. COVID-19 changed a lot of things. As a result of COVID-19, the economy or the action in Botswana contracted by 9%. The deficit of this country even doubled. In the past year, it was 4, but in the next year, definitely we are looking at around 8% of the GDP. Despite all these problems, just like any other country faces, Botswana is a proactive country. What they have right now is what they call the 2020 to 2023 Economic Recovery and Transformation Plan. It has been rolled. So, if you're an investor, if you're a businessman, well, it is time to look out and check what's happening in a country with 2.2 million people and say, maybe I can put my eggs in that basket. There's so many reasons for one to invest and do business in Botswana. Let's look at the workforce of Botswana. 83% of this country's population is literate and most of them speak English. Largely, the country does not have any labor tensions. It's unheard of to have labor tensions in Botswana. Yes, we do not say the extreme and say there are no labor tensions, but they are minimal. And this is due to harmonious labor relations that they have in this country. Well, if you think that your investment is not going to be safe in Botswana or you're going to face any hassles, well, investment in Botswana is quite transparent. According to the Transparent International Board, Botswana is one of the most transparent countries in Africa. And this is fostered by the best and stable macroeconomic environment that it faces, and it is a result of a very good political environment. So it has a very good investment climate. What are the incentives of investing in Botswana? Can you believe it? The first time that I saw these statistics, or the first time that I saw this fact, I said no, and I had to check for myself. Botswana does not have any exchange controls. That's a good deal. For any investor, for any businessman, a country with no exchange controls is a very good one, because free exchange controls will enable you to do a lot of things. Well, In Botswana, there is also no restriction to business ownership. There's so many things that I can talk about Botswana, but listen to this one. 100% duty rebate on importation of manufacturing machinery. So if you want to do machinery in this country or manufacturing in this country, it means that you get 100% rebate. This country has got a very good liberal regime as far as tax is concerned. Let's look at 22% corporate tax and 25% personal tax. And the gem of it all is that there is 25% off for manufacturing taxes. If you invest in this country, you have the opportunity to negotiate even a tax holiday to a maximum of 10 years. We are not talking about running away from tax, but we are trying to be socially responsible sometimes, and we need tax holidays up to 10 years. This is a very good deal. And at the end of the day, the last incentive is that Botswana has got a deductible training rebate of up to 200%. These incentives are simply a call for you to go and invest in Botswana because, well, if not, these are some of the best investment climates that we can find on the continent of Africa. You could be an investor who is skeptical. You could be a businessman who is not sure. But well, investors' protection is guaranteed in Botswana. The country has implemented practices for over 40 years and they guarantee the investor. This allows for a very competitive and accessible as far as the investor market is concerned. How is it made possible, and how is it possible that they can guarantee an investor a market? It is made possible by the multilateral investment guarantee agents, which is called MIGA, and other investment agreements that has got a minimum security for investors. This is made possible, and we can say that investors' protection in Botswana is top-notch. I do not have the money to invest in a foreign market. I do not have money to start in a foreign market. But do you have collateral security? Because when it comes to accessing credit, well, Botswana has got some of the best financial and capital markets as far as Africa is concerned. Actually, it is one of the most sophisticated capital and financial markets. And also, Botswana has been voted to be in the top 5 of African countries when it comes to the accessibility of bank loans. To say this, Botswana actually has one of the largest numbers of firms that have got the lines of credit. So of all these things that we have been talking about, the location of Botswana, where it is and what it offers, I think it is a good place for one to consider a business in Botswana. My name is TJ and this is Financial Motivation. I've worked in collaboration with Get Financial Insights. This article was written by experienced industry experts and great industry players. Their core objective is to help businesses attract investments, improve operations, raise capital, and appreciate research and development, and also promoting a sustainable business culture in Africa. It covers startups, it covers economics, brownfields, and all the topics that are to do with the world of finance and business.